A month ago, I posted a video talking about the genre of ASAM horror games on Roblox, how they work, how to play them, and various problems with them. A few weeks ago, a new ASAM game was released to the public named Bye Bye Night, a FNAF fan game where it implements the various qualities, quirks, and mechanics of the ASAM genre. Now, I started playing the game the very first day it was released, finding various qualities and flaws down the line. Bye Bye Night came out and really got a good number of players. It was hyped, after all, run by a pretty big YouTuber named Ozzelblocks, and not only having the quality of way better than most ASAMs right now. At first, I didn't want to leave my expectations too high on release, since it was on beta. But I was shocked at the amount of content that this game has to offer even in a beta state. Now, there were many flaws to the game at that point, and even now. My initial thoughts on the game overall at the time were pretty positive and brain dead, due to the fact that I decided to ignore the actual criticism of other channels at that time and just stay close-minded. Reminds me of someone, huh? I scrapped the entire original script for the game since it wasn't even that good to begin with. I did not like it at all and how dumb it sounded. I looked around other channels to see the criticism of the game and how it can improve, and I agree with most of them, of course. I still believe that the game is truly one of the best ASAMs as of lately. I still play it to this day on a daily basis, since to me personally it's a very fun game with a lot of work and hard put into it. I'm not really that big of a fan of FNAF, don't get me wrong, I do like the franchise, but I simply don't find myself a massive fan of it, but who knows, maybe this game will change that. I do want to say that this video isn't to hate on the game, it's just my personal opinion. I'm not saying to not try the game, matter of fact, I'm asking you to go right now and play it. I'm gonna leave the game's link in the description if anybody wants to try it out. Oh, and by the way, if you enjoy the content that I do, please support me by subscribing, liking, and sharing the video to others. With all of that out of the way, let us begin. Bye Bye Night has a pretty decent amount of playable characters with their own unique gameplay, but I'm going to get into the good of each and every single thing of the survivors and killers. I want to talk about the core gameplay and the basics of the game. Survivors are categorized in classes. You don't play as a specific character with a story or name, you just play as yourself with a set moveset. The survivor goal is to make it until 6 am, when the timer is up and exit will be highlighted to everyone. When you reach that exit, you leave the map and win the round. The survivors can reduce the timer by either doing the generators around the map or finding batteries and taking them to the power box, where it's randomly generated somewhere around the map. The survivor's core gameplay is pretty good, honestly. You have objectives to complete and you are able to win the round by not just running around, but actually having an opening to survive. Depending on what class you choose, the gameplay is gonna differ from each survivor.
Even y'all calling.
Starting with the customer, a survivalist type of class that relies on self-management. You are equipped with 2 moves in your arsenal. The pizza is your self-heal and the best way to self-sustain your health without any help. Depending on how low your HP is, the pizza will heal differently. Let's say that you have a small amount of health left, like 20%. The pizza will heal a good amount of it, and if you have 80%, it will heal less and less. I'm not sure exactly the amount of health that it is required to heal much more, but I'm just saying. The drink ability is your speed boost. If you use it, you will receive a less stamina drain, speed, and other effects, but the downside of it is that you will get negative effects when the good ones wear off. The customer class is a selfish survivalist that can only help by completing the objectives. There isn't much I can say about it. 4-star survivor is a great choice for new players to try it out. Now, this class is kinda simple to understand. You have a self-heal and an ability to heal your teammates. Although on both moves you are gonna be a sitting duck when using them, you will be able to heal most of your HP and your team's HP, so expect to be the first target. A good tip is to make sure that you are alone at all costs when you want to heal someone or yourself. It will be impossible to do any work if the killer is on your ass 24/7.
Like a Uzi, jacuzzi. Get the fuck out of the way!
Initially, I had a lot of hate for this character and how poorly it was executed, but after a few updates and a couple of rounds, my opinion on it changed. You get 2 moves, a stun and a parry. Much similar to the screaming guy in Forsaken, you can stun the killer with the swing of your weapon. Depending on how many charges you have, the stun effect is gonna be way more effective. You start with 1 charge at the beginning of the round. You can get more charges by parrying the killer as many times as you want. Although the amount of parries you can do is infinite, you will only get 3 charges on your swing. You also get an additional 10 plus health, that's expecting the fighter players to do their job of course. It can be really broken in the good hands, but if the killer is someone with experience and actually knows how to counter them, then you know what's gonna happen.
Can you believe it, guys? Christmas!
I don't think people really understand this class that much. You get 2 moves, a taser and a camera tablet. Every map has cameras around it. It doesn't matter if nobody has the security guard class equipped. By pressing different points of the map, you can see the entire location. You can highlight 2 things, the killer location and the generators around the map. By clicking on them, you will lose a chunk of your camera power, but everyone on the map will see what you highlighted. The taser has multiple stages, from green to red. Depending on how high you charge the taser, the better the outcome will come from the initial shot. Below green, or why that's what I call it, will slow down the killer for 3 seconds. Green will apply slowness and daze for 5 seconds. Yellow will decrease the user's movement, but it will give the killer slowness and confusion for 7 seconds. Red and above shots with the taser will make the player sitting duck, but it will give the killer slowness and silence for 9 whole seconds, probably the most broken charge out of them all. You will basically stun the killer for 9 seconds yourself if you manage to get it too far. Now, to be fair, I have no clue what tip to give to this class since I barely use it myself, so just try to support the team as much as you can.
I hate you. I've always hated you. I'm going to kill you.
D-Rotten, or Springy Boy, is a trapper slash rushdown at its finest. From a personal opinion, I think he's more of an all-arounder. He can find survivors, he can place traps around the map, he can catch up to them, and also have one range ability. By the way, I want to say this, but what I say now about characters, maps, or abilities will change in the future, therefore this video will get outdated due to how the devs update the game. As the killers, you get M1s. Currently, every M1 can differ depending on your character you choose, but one thing they all have in common is that the M1 will always lunge you forward and hit multiple people. Now, the only killers that have different M1s, currently as the making of this video, are Springtrap and the Mimic. Springtrap has 5 moves, 2 of them being close behind the axeless mode and 2 in the axe mode. You get a swing M1 lunge that melts the enemy's HP, dealing 34 damage with the axe and 28 without it. Bear Trap will stop you in place, and then, out of thin air, Springtrap places down a bear trap in his current location. If a survivor steps in it, they will get stunned for 8 seconds and take 50 damage. The survivors are able to disarm the traps and take them away, and Springtrap can pick them up and put them somewhere else. It's a very good move that relies mostly on the map, but also how smart the killer is when putting them. Remnant Cleaver. You hold your axe above the shoulder, and after a short animation, you will throw it in front of you, and the following things can happen. If it hits a player, it's gonna flash a cyan color around you, and then you'll be able to see their location since the axe will glow white the entire time it's not on you. And if it hits no one, you can go pick it up by using the F key. In both scenarios, you will lose the bear trap and you will do less M1 damage, but you will get new moves and more speed. I believe this is an amazing payoff since it would be bullshit to just have the same stats as the axe mode. After a short moment, your Springtrap skin will open his mouth and then will scream, revealing everyone's location and giving 25% stamina back and blinding everybody depending on how close they are when the move is used. Now, this is a very good utility move that not only helps with finding everyone's locations, but also continuous chases. So the best way to use it is when you need to find some survivors or regain some stamina mid-chase. This is Springtrap's last move, and it's kinda easy to understand. You will charge in front of you. This move is also aimable, of course, while draining stamina during the run. If hit, you'll grab the survivor and then toss them to the side, doing 40% of their current damage and ragdolling them. Sadly, only doing 5% when they are down. This move is also blockable with the fighter class parry. Now, this move is weird. It's good, don't get me wrong, but nobody really uses it. The best way to use the last charge is to cut corners with the survivors. First of all, make sure you have your entire stamina bar, since they won't outrun the move if they don't get a head start. Second of all, when you toss them to the side, there is no actual use to just wait for them to get back up and either have a 50-50% chance to miss the M1 or not. So just hit them one time and continue the chase.
You played right into our hands. Did you really think that this job just fell out of the sky for you?
The Mimic is an adapter, having multiple modes in order to adapt to the current situation. He has 3 modes: Strength mode, that deals the most damage in the game by just an M1, but makes you incredibly slow. Speed mode, that reduces stamina gain and damage, but gives you 25% more speed than the usual Survivor. And Stealth mode, that does mediocre damage, but gives you the most moves in Mimic's arsenal, and makes you undetectable. For all of those modes, you gain an advantage and a curse, which is actually balanced than most people gave credit for. Strength mode gives you 40% M1 strength, aka you can melt the survivor's HP by a long mile, but you get hella slow. The Mimic relies a lot on mode switching to combo between moves, but I don't really play this character that much to give out actual good tips for it, but I can explain what I really like about it. You don't get any moves in this mode, but the damage is enough to count for all of the missing moves here. It's actually a good payoff for the survivor since, personally, I believe this character is the most balanced killer so far. Speed mode. This mode is the most commonly used when in chases. It tackles the enemy and has one move that does balanced damage. Leap is your only move in this mode. It multi-hits and has pretty good amount of distance. Hitting it is a whole nother video on its own, but to put it simply, if you aren't braided like me, you're gonna use this move where it truly shines. Stealth mode. This mode gives you mediocre M1 damage and 2 moves. Technically 3, I don't know. This mode has the most utility out of them all. Grab will lunge you forward, and then if you hit someone, you'll pick up the survivor and then you'll have a timer. 2 things are presented to you. You can end the move early and toss the player away by pressing the move again, and if you throw the survivor at other players, it will hit them, dealing 25% damage to the initial player and 12% to the ragdolled ones. Drill is your only way to see where the players are. After a small animation, you'll go underground and you can move freely with a good amount of speed. You can use this move again to come out and doing a small AoE marked by a red circle. It's honestly the best move in Mimic's kit by far, but since I don't really use this character, I'ma just say that you can go to an area with the most players and do the AoE there. Most of my gripes with this killer is just skill issue, but to be fair, this is truly one of the most balanced killers in the entire game. It makes you switch between modes pretty well in order to do the most damage. It's actually pretty smart. Oh yeah, and before we go into the final current killer, I just want to say that I don't believe any killers are horrible, bad, or really that unbalanced. Everybody has different opinions, and I hope you guys can understand that. Now, I gotta say that this dude has some hate and love all around him. I can't really put it into words exactly, but what I can say is that he has people that call him broken, really good, aka me, and people that call him garbage. He is described as an impersonator. By taking the appearance of players he kills, he can sneak up on them and eliminate them one way or another. Even in his original mode, he is broken. Playing more aggressively with him is probably the best option. Wire Eyes. After a short animation, you'll sit still and throw at 2 minions that will wander around the area. After 40 seconds, they will explode and disappear. But if they are near survival, they will jump on their head and deal 10 to 15 damage. They can be taken off the player if they shake their camera. The best utilization of it is to just spam it, or place them in a common area so you don't get looped that much. They don't do much if you just drop them out like that, but in a closed area where the survivors can see them, then you are good. Grab. This is the most annoying and also useful move of Ennard. After a short moment, you'll throw out the wire, and if in the region of a survivor, they will be grabbed and birthed right in front of you. Now the move doesn't do damage sadly, but it's a good utility move that helps you get the survivors right into your location. I'm not sure how to use this move properly, so sorry, but you gotta figure it out on your own. Skin Stealer. This is the trickiest move out of Ennard's kit. When used, you'll be given an UI with the current avatars you can use, as well as the ones in the match of the people that you killed. Now this move has an entire moveset on its own, starting with Stab. This move is used as an M1 with a longer cooldown. You will launch in front of you, then you will stab the enemy in a short animation, then you will kick them away. The best use of it is when you find a survivor that is alone, doing generators, or simply not paying attention. Then you can use it to get free damage on it. You'll pull out a wire eye and then throw it in front of you. If it hits a survivor, it will explode. If not, then the wire will become a normal minion. I believe the best way to use this move is before the stab move, since it can blind them and you will be able to use it. Explode. Now, this move is kinda self-explanatory. You'll just explode from your avatar you used, doing a small AoE and going to the animatronic form. The best use of this move is when you find a group of players around the generator or when somebody knows you're not part of the team. The characters, while yes being the best part of the game, aren't the only good thing about it. The maps are visually stunning, while still staying true to the original source. I really like how creative they got with the forest map, that being a reference from FNAF 4 title screen. Pizzeria is one of the most faithful maps to the FNAF lore, even having the security room with the closable doors, clearly taken from FNAF 1 with additional places like the kitchen, back area, and playhouse. I also wanted to praise the models of the animatronics and their skins, being extremely faithful to the original ones, but also making them really good. The skins are also very well made. Also, the music on this game is amazing, as well as the voice acting on the animatronics in every skin. Well, that's kind of for this part of the video. Crap. Now this part is going to piss off a couple of people, but I gotta say this again. This is my personal opinion from my own personal experience from the matches that I played. Okay, I'ma get the obvious problems that not only me and the players have, and then I'ma get into my personal gripes with the game. The map design is garbage, don't get me wrong. Visually they are stunning and very well made. It has the most unnecessary collisions ever made, that will mess up not only the killer, but the survivor as well. Most of the time, you will get stuck into nothing due to the dumb hitbox that the model has. Even as the killers that either have a range move or a rushdown move, you would either hit an invisible wall or get stuck into the table legs or something else. Another thing that screws over both sides of killers and survivors are the amount of looping areas and dead ends. There are many dead ends that the killers will force survivors into. Dead ends are good for any ASIM games. I may not be the greatest ASIM player out there of course, but I know when I'm fucked over when there is a dead end and where the killer will utilize that to their advantage. There is nothing you can do with most of these maps if you get trapped as a survivor, and it's not like there's anything else to do. Like yes, in Pizzeria you can find generators / batteries in the back area, but what happens if you don't? That area is completely useless to the survivors. Also on the killer side, the maps with the most looping areas will drive you insane. Most maps have an infinite amount of looping areas where the killer is forced to go to if they don't want to lose the survivor and lose a good amount of time. Maybe that's on me, but the most maps where survivors will just play tag like forest or warehouse the entire time will give the general idea of it. The killers rely a lot on the map that they get. Like Pizzeria isn't that good of a map for the Mimic, but it's amazing for trappers like Springtrap and Ennard, and Forest is good for the Mimic's mobility, but annoying for Springtrap players. I can go all day on how good or bad maps are for specific killers, but that will be another video on its own. Now that's the most annoying and obvious gripe that everybody has, but I wanted to talk about something that many people don't really care about. Why the hell don't we have more Survivor cosmetics? We only have one since the game's release, that being Fighter's Scrobot skin for the weapon. To be fair, I don't really like the skin, but you know, personal gripes. I don't understand why there isn't any skin for the rest of the survivors. Like, there is so many ideas that the devs can do with the rest of the classes. Why is there only work for one killer skin than the other survivor side? Like, what about customer? Instead of the casual pizza and soda, you can add a Bloxy Cola with a pizza, ice cream, chicken, or anything else. There's so many food choices and drinks that don't even need to be Roblox or FNAF related. Having different animation for survivor skins would be a really cool idea as well. How about medic? Having only the medkit behind it, it can allow for several unique ideas. Even having a color version of it would work. Like, why not just have a normal medkit without the 3D elements on it? And even if it's not a medkit or anything like that, you can still add a backpack with different animations or something else. Fighter only having one skin as of recording of this video is diabolical. The amount of creative liberty not being already in the game is annoying. This class can have many weapons with different animations. Like, what about a sledgehammer? That would go perfectly with the character's base animations, if not being one more accurate skins, in my personal opinion. Now, this might be only one of my personal gripes since I played this game of a fucking potato, but holy shit, the flashlight. It might be the most useless item given to a player. I heard that it works the best when you get blindness. It does not. It doesn't light anything in front of you. It doesn't blind the killer at all or even helps you in certain areas. Experienced players already know the layout of the map and they can recognize where they are going. Is it going to help the newer players? No, not really. Newer players won't even understand what's gonna happen when they get blinded, and the flashlight is not gonna help for shit. Another thing that kinda grinds my gears is the main menu, aka how the game doesn't actually explain that much about the character you are gonna play, which is not a big problem when it comes to the basic survivors like the medic, fighter, or customer. But the security guard, them being labeled as just the support of a team doesn't really help. It's one of the most complex survivors to any new player that tries it out. This also applies to the killers, specifically Ennard. He's the most hated and loved character by the players, but it's really hard to understand if you don't watch a tutorial or read the wiki about him. Maybe that's just a me problem, but I feel like the dev should have gotten a bit more into detail about the killers and survivors' ability. I would include the many bugs, optimization problems and everything else, but I don't want to fill this area with unnecessary filler. Another thing that kind of bugs me out personally is the fact that every skin, not all of them of course, must have a custom chase team. I don't really get why. Yes, expensive skins like Hoax and Anomaly do make sense, but Aftermath and Spartan? What I'm saying is not every skin that is just a recolor or only adds something else to the character should always have a custom chase team or something like that. I don't really have anything else to say about the general gameplay or the characters that hasn't been already said. I guess it's time to move on to the final segment of this video. Now, when the game came out a couple of weeks ago, it got a pretty mixed bag of opinions, from calling it game garbage, overrated, rushed and so on. But on the other side, people calling it the best ASAM game out there, the coolest game on Roblox discovery page, and the Forsaken Killers and others. Most of the people that call it rushed, overrated or anything that isn't positive will receive a lot of hate. Several hate comments to people just giving out their criticism to the game. Everybody has different opinions to different topics. If you're gonna give out huge criticism about how the game needs heavy work or similar stuff like that, then you will get a couple of TSB kids saying that you suck and you need to end it all. That's just the responses of the people when the game came out. Nowadays nobody really says anything special about it. The players in game are something else though. That's why I didn't really want to include them into the bad section of the video. Let's just say in the span of a week, the game became not as toxic but somewhere in between with the children of the strongest battlegrounds. People will do anything to annoy you, to screw you over, or simply being nothing but a pest the entire round. People teaming is something that has occurred a bit too much since the game's release. Some dumbasses will barricade the door just so you don't leave that area so that their boyfriend can kill you there. It's extremely scummy and stupid that people can find a way to mess you up instead of actually helping you to win the round. The amount of time people screw up is actually infuriating. Also, I went into the game's Discord server and saw the star suggestion channel and saw the amount of concepts for killers, skins and everything else. A game that isn't even that old made so many people come together to add original ideas to it. Many people make art for future animatronics, write several pages worth of survivor classes and new killers themselves. I already expressed my annoyance at how the devs didn't implement any survivor skins, and some of the suggestions really showed out what devs can do. Also, I didn't say this earlier, but why didn't the devs implement an easier way to get agony? The only way to even become killer is by rushing every single objective, and the round will become a waiting game where you just run around and do nothing. Why don't your abilities give you agony? It doesn't need to be that much agony to begin with. Since this game wants to be the most creative ASAM game out there, they can mess around with different styles of objectives. Most survivors, aka the customer, aka me, will rush chains and batteries to get agony and scrap. Just add the different ways to get agony, it will work as well. Another thing I want to say is that the devs didn't add any achievements to the game. It isn't that big of a deal, but they did show that Rust Trap is going to be the next achievement only skin? What? Like, why can't it be a max level skin? You get absolutely nothing when you reach level 20 on Springtrap, so why not give us the Rust Trap skin instead? And this is more of a personal gripe, but the skin needs a tad bit more work. It just looks like the similar Springtrap that we already have, and kind of get that if they don't use the original model of Springtrap that looks like a peanut, but they can change that to have a different animation and also make it look better on its own. I don't understand why they need to keep a skin over an achievement rather than getting max level on it, but hey, who knows. That's pretty much for today's video. I have been working on it for bare more than a month, so that kinda explains why it took so long to upload. I have been playing Bye Bye Night since for a good while, and this video was meant to show what I love and hate about it. I have been presented with something and I need to make sure that the product isn't garbage. Matter of fact, this game is far from that. This video was meant to give out constructive criticism and point out some of the bigger flaws of the game. I really like this game and I hope that the player count doesn't go down anytime soon. Yeah, anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the video and watch it till the end. And also, do not forget leaving a like, subscribing and share the video to others. I hope I see you guys another time. See ya!